Hello. Hey guys, it's me again, and welcome to another episode from us, the Voices of Kakehashi. So, the topic today that we're going to talk about is the 7 things that you should avoid doing while in Japan. Okay, maybe these are not just the 7 things, maybe there are a lot more, but these are the things that we've come up that we think is really important for you to keep in mind. So, before I start, just as you know, coming from different countries and different backgrounds and going over to Japan, you will know that you'll be fully engaged in a very different culture. So always keep that in mind, that whatever you do might not be the same as in your own country and as in Japan. Number 1, I know when you guys get there, you guys will be so excited, and the thing that you guys will want to do is just take pictures everywhere. Everything that you see, everything that you touch, everything that you smell, like you just want to take a picture of it. So one thing to keep in mind is that taking pictures is okay actually, but in Japan they have a different culture to keep the public's privacy, and how to keep each other's privacy is sort of like a mutual respect between people. Before you guys take pictures or take selfies anywhere, just always remember to ask. And here's a personal experience that I want to share with you guys. There was this time where we were brought to a primary school and we had a chance to practice our Japanese and also talk to them. What happened was we actually weren't allowed to take any pictures with them, so we didn't have any selfies. Typically you go take selfies with the kids and have a group photo with the kids, but we didn't have any of that. And till now I actually don't really remember the faces of the kids anymore, and it's kind of sad, but that's just how it is. That's how they protect the privacy of not just the kids, but some places, some people. So we only got pictures of their backs. It might seem to be okay, to just go up to the kid and you go on to like a event, and then you go to the kid and hey, let's take a selfie, but that's actually not that okay. So just always bear in mind to always ask before you take any pictures. Alright, so moving on to the next one. The second point is about eating manners, or table manners, so you call it. In Japan, when you're having dinner, lunch, breakfast, just having a course, not by yourself or with someone, it's always really important to mind your own manners. We might come from different backgrounds where we have different manners, but here's just something to keep in mind in Japan. Always remember to wash your hands. That's I think what most of us do, but I think always remember on how you use your chopsticks, how you use your cutleries. In Japan, you'll be expected to use chopsticks a lot, so if you don't know how to use it yet, I think it's good to start trying now. And they use chopsticks a lot. And for chopsticks, right, always remember how to place your chopsticks. Always place your chopsticks nicely, because it's really a disrespect to poke your chopsticks like this on top of your, let's say on top of a rice bowl, if you poke your chopsticks like that. And also there's this one thing, I don't know if it's common in your families or something, but chewing with your mouth open or like chewing noisily is actually really unpolite. And I think sometimes when you chew really loudly, or you forgot, and then your parents will scold you, because this happens in my family, and then they're like, oh, you do this in Japan, and I thought you actually chew loudly in Japan, but actually that's not the thing. So remember that in Japan it's also really not polite to chew loudly. What's really nice to do is actually not chewing really loudly, but actually slurping. So when you eat noodles, or when you drink soup, and when you slurp, that shows your appreciation towards whoever cooked it, and it will actually show that you enjoy your food. So that's something nice to do, and that's in their culture. It's not chewing loudly, remember that, because actually before I went there, I actually thought it was chewing loudly, but it's not chewing loudly actually, but it's actually slurping your noodles or your soup. So moving on to the third thing. This thing is very important for any one of us, I think, wherever we go, which is to dress appropriately. I think this thing is pretty much self-explanatory, so in whichever occasion you go, just wear the thing that you think will be appropriate, that shows yourself. Because I think you as an exchange student, how you portray yourself, the first thing is by how you dress up, and how you just portray your outer self before you portray your inner self. So I think it's very good to give people good first impressions. And one thing to remember also is, in Japan, it's very important to show your first impression towards that person, because first impressions really matter to people in Japan. So just dress appropriately. I don't think if you go there during the winter time, I don't think you'll be like wearing singlet and stuff like that, right? Yeah, just dress appropriately in whichever occasions that you are in. Moving on to the fourth point, right? Sitting properly. I think this one is also very self-explanatory, like the first, like the one before this. Just sit properly. I think this point also shows how you portray yourself also. So whenever you are in a dinner or you're in an event, just try to sit properly. For girls, sit properly. For guys, sit properly. It's the same. Try to keep your legs down. Maybe don't cross your arms. Maybe don't cross your legs. Just try to learn how the culture it is there and try to look around on how everyone is doing, and just do it politely and always be polite, always be kind, always be nice. And now the fifth point. This one I think might apply to Japan only, or maybe in some places, but in public, try not to blow your nose or try not to wipe your nose. Try not to do this in public because it's actually not really polite. So when you sneeze, try to sneeze like this, sneeze into your sleeve, and try not to blow your nose, clear your nose. Try to find a toilet or try to find somewhere where there's not a lot of people and try to do that there. Up to the sixth point now. The sixth point will talk more about when you get to your classes and when you start classes. It's very, very normal or very, very true to all of us. Maybe not all of us, because I think some of you are really good in Japanese already, but for me, when I went over there, like my Japanese was just zero. Like some Japanese characters, I still didn't know how to read them, and I just didn't know what everything meant. I just knew like konnichiwa. That's all I knew. So it's okay, but the most important thing is when you get to class, try to participate as much as possible. It's very easy to slack off, or maybe some of your schools, because as for my school, I can bring my phone to school. You'll just go on your phone, not socialize. I think this is something not good, because we as an exchange student, we need to use our time to the fullest and just grab every opportunity to learn. Because I know at first it'll be so hard, because I think all of the time the teacher will be just talking Japanese, like it's like, what are you talking about? You're just so confused, and sometimes you might fall asleep in class. This happened to me. We were doing a sort of like a farewell party before we went, and they were just talking with the teachers, and we just chatting, and the teachers brought up a topic of how during the first few weeks when we started our Japanese class, I actually fell asleep in class. And it's okay to make mistakes, but try to learn from those mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, I guess, because only through these mistakes you will learn. Because speaking Japanese, right, I think, if you guys haven't checked it out, I think he has a video up already to teach you guys more about how to study Japanese more effectively. So I think they'll leave the link down there below, or just check out our channel and you'll find it. But what I want to say is to always grab the opportunity, and it's okay to make mistakes. Just try to engage yourself more in classes, because not only in your Japanese class, but also during your own study time, try to not be on your phone so much, and try to just learn. Just try to put as much effort as you can into learning Japanese. Talking about this language thing and also engaging more in your classes comes to our final point, which is to not use English or your own language too much. Try to not use your phone and text people back in your own country that much. Try to make more friends with those who are in Japan, and also try to use Japanese more when you talk. So only when somebody doesn't understand, or when you can't communicate, like nothing's going through, then it's okay to use some English to get something going on. But always try to just use Japanese. And when you use Japanese and not use English that much, the Japanese people, they are really, really nice actually, and it's okay to make some mistakes or slip up your grammar, because they know that you're an exchange student, right? You went there and they know that you probably have no Japanese background. For that, try to engage yourself in more conversations. Alright guys, so I think this concludes our video today. So before I end this video, I just want to recap on what we've learned today, and on the 7 things that you should avoid in Japan. So the first thing will be always to ask permission when taking pictures. So talking about what to avoid is to avoid just taking pictures wherever you like. And the second thing will be your table manners, your eating manners. So how you use your chopsticks, how you portray yourself on the table, and how you keep yourself polite whenever you eat. And the third and fourth points will be how you portray yourself outside when you go meet someone new or when you go to school. So whatever you wear to show that you are an exchange student and you're there to learn. And the fifth one will be wiping your nose or blowing your nose in public. Try not to do that. I'm not saying that you can just do that. You can't ever touch your nose, but I'm just saying that try to be as polite as possible, because always keep in mind that the people in Japan are very, very polite. So always try to be as polite as possible back to them, so that you can show that you appreciate the culture, and you also wanna show that you respect them. And the sixth one would be to take your class seriously. Going there as an exchange student, your ultimate goal, which is number 7 also, is to learn Japanese. So try not to use English. Try to engage in your class as much as possible. Try to talk to more friends, make more friends. Use Japanese in every conversation. Also try to talk to your host family, your host parents, and try to get them, try to get to know them better, and all that, So these are just, I think some of them are very self-explanatory. Like I said just now, it's very simple, but always try to keep a mind on who you are and why you are there as an exchange student. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I think today's video might be a little bit longer, but I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys are still very excited to go. Your time will come, right? So just prepare yourself mentally, and also try to start learning some Japanese. It will help you there, through watching anime, or just trying to watch some YouTube videos on how to improve your Japanese. Just try to boost yourself up so that you'll be fully mentally and physically ready to go to Japan on your exchange. Thank you guys again for watching my video today, and I hope you guys learned something. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and hopefully you learn something every time we put out our videos, and always be just be ready to go. Bye, see ya, and take care. Oh, by the way, if you guys are like down and like you're like, when I'm going to Japan, here's one thing to cheer you up and motivate you. Sushi. The sushi in Japan is the best. See you guys. Bye bye.